Bitcoin, the flagship stateless cryptocurrency, is a double-edged sword that can either strengthen or harm national power. As financial warfare becomes increasingly complex, this decentralized cybercurrency is acting as a versatile strategic instrument of statecraft that can play various roles under confrontational geopolitical circumstances. This under-researched subject matter needs to be clarified because it entails meaningful implications for national security, strategic intelligence, foreign policy, and grand strategy, but also for the domain of high finance. In order to provide a sharper sense of situational awareness, the following article integrates strategic forecasts that attempt to predict the hypothetical usefulness of Bitcoin for conflicts with scrutiny of illustrative contemporary examples that point in a similar direction. Bitcoin can offer a potential lifeline for states under sanctions that need to ensure the continuity of their international economic exchanges. Since the Bitcoin grid cannot be controlled by coercive or restrictive power of national states, its borderless security provides secondary financial arteries worth harnessing to bypass sanctions that limit the ability to carry out cross-border transactions and transfer wealth through more conventional platforms, unhovered to major reserve currencies that enabled international payments. An additional advantage of decentralized virtual currencies for sanctioned states is their discretion. They offer covert gateways to engage former financial system or even to avoid them altogether if necessary. In other words, it is difficult to determine if sanctions are being neutralized through cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Furthermore, despite their drawbacks, including wildly volatile exchange rates, non-state cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are helpful to evade sanctions thanks to their growing transnational projection, their unsupervised channels, and their lack of centralized nerve centers that could be politically threatened, co-opted, or influenced. An academic essay written by US military officer Dean Konowitz for the US Naval War College identifies 3 strategies to use unofficial virtual currencies as a symmetric equalizer to diminish or overcome sanctions imposed by an enemy with superior financial firepower. Yet the implementation of each comes with challenging caveats. The theft of wealth through acts of cybercrime against cryptocurrency exchanges or ransomware attacks to demand payments denominated in cryptocurrency. This approach requires sophisticated cyber warfare know-how. Cryptocurrency mining on a large scale as an industrial activity which generates profits that do not flow through traditional financial networks. This pursuit demands investment, technological infrastructure, advanced hardware, vast amounts of energy, and technical expertise. The encouragement of sanctioned states, population, and business community to freely carry out all sorts of transactions through cryptocurrencies. Said possibility comes with the risk of weakened the position of that country's official currency and the prospect of widespread economic instability, a phenomenon that could lead in turn to political turmoil. Bitcoin can also hypothetically act as a weaponized instrument that can be wielded in the practice of statecraft. Ironically, its anti-state properties mean that it can be employed by states against their rivals in offensive acts of hybrid warfare. Potentially, BTC can even be engaged to hit heavier targets. Interestingly, Silicon Valley entrepreneur Peter Thiel, himself a strong supporter of BTC, has expressed his concerns about the potential weaponization of Bitcoin by Beijing against the US. Paradoxically, the fact that China despises Bitcoin at home does not mean that it cannot be useful abroad as a spearhead against major strategic competitor. BTS offers opportunities to engage in unconventional forms of economic predation. According to a report prepared by a panel of experts for the UN Security Council, the North Korean military intelligence agency, the Reconnaissance General Bureau, has been responsible for acts of cyber-financial warfare and cybercrime, including malware and ransomware attacks against foreign corporate targets in South Korea and elsewhere involving Bitcoin and other decentralized cryptocurrencies. Said source claims that Pyongyang presence in the cryptocurrencies ecosystem also including mining. It is estimated that the profits made by North Korea through these measures were worth $2 billion over a couple of years. The official report indicates that the resulting stolen wealth can then be used to undertake unsupervised international transactions, evade sanctions, and fund North Korean military expenditures, including its nuclear weapon program. The American blockchain research firm Chain Analysis calculates that in 2022 alone, North Korea entities stole $1.7 billion worth of cryptocurrencies through hacking. This aggressive behavior shows the problematic overtones of state-sponsored criminal activities related to crypto assets. Bitcoin can be used to bolster the military defense of a state in conventional conflicts. In the Ukraine war, it has been used by Kyiv to prepare for the clash and to mitigate its consequences. Thanks to crowdfunding campaigns organized by both the Ukrainian government and the private networks of volunteers through virtual platforms, Ukraine received donations denominated in cryptocurrency for foreign supporters. This digital war chest was helpful to increase Kyiv pool of resources before and during the 2022 Russian invasion. According to open sources, said funds were invested in the purchase of military equipment, unmanned aerial vehicles, medical supplies, and even facial recognition software to identify Russian soldiers, spies, and mercenaries. This reality indicates that cryptocurrency has become not only a mainstream financial phenomenon but also an instrumental digital asset in contemporary conventional war fighting. The Islamic Republic of Iran has harnessed the Bitcoin landscape in an effort to deflect Western sanctions through unorthodox measures. Tehran is encouraging BTC mining in order to use the resulting profits to pay for imports, overcoming the coercive restrictions that limits its ability to participate in economic exchanges carried out through ordinary platforms. Furthermore, Tehran is engaged in negotiations with other states including Austria, Bosnia-Herzegovina, England, France, Germany, Russia, South Africa, Switzerland over the development of collaborative frameworks for the use of cryptocurrencies in cross-border financial transactions. Therefore, for Iran, Bitcoin represents a backdoor to access the world economy. As such, it bolsters its counter-hegemonic policy of economic resistance. Nevertheless, Iran's position towards stateless cryptocurrencies has zigzagged as the balance between cost and benefits has changed. Iranian authorities reserved their permissiveness towards Bitcoin mining due to rising electricity consumptions, shortages of natural gas supplies as a result of sanctions, Bitcoin's falling value, and the incidence of droughts, which have diminished the operational capacity to generate hydropower. Yet, there are signs which indicate that Tehran is revisiting its position once more. In August 2022, the Iranian Ministry of Industry, Mining and Trade announced on social media that the Middle Eastern country had completed its first import order denominated in an unnamed stateless cryptocurrency, a transaction worth 10 million, adding that more operations like this will continue in Iran's international economic exchanges. Both strategic forecast and analytical assessments reveal that in the strategic chessboards of 21st century connectivity wars, the leading cryptocurrency can be wielded as a high-tech financial sword or shield by innovative practitioners of economic statecraft. Some predictions have already come true. Others anticipate conceivable possibilities that might come to fruition in the near future. In turn, reality itself has brought some unexpected but not surprising developments that had not been foreseen. The increasingly weaponization of Bitcoin in conventional and unconventional battlefields is consistent with the transformational character of hybrid warfare. A century ago, the historiographical German thinker Oswald Spengler explained that rather than an item that flows from one hand to another in economic exchanges, money is for modern Faustian civilization that favor the marriage of technological development, the pursuit of worldly power and economic dynamism in the quest for wealth, also an organic impressional life form whose strength can be harnessed to project political force. The ongoing and eventual involvement of Bitcoin in several expressions of conflict shows that such an axiom is certainly valid in the digital age of fintech. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please like and subscribe to the channel.